Children, I had asked you to study all these theorems. So there are some 3-4 theorems which are important for proof as well for board examination. So I'm discussing them, although they are all given in your book. So from here only, but I'm explaining you once so that it's easy for you all to remember that. Okay. Now the first is BPT, basic proportionality theorem, which says that if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides in distinct points, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. So this is your triangle ABC, in which a line is drawn parallel to the third side, intersecting the other two sides at points D and which point have they used? E. This should be E. Okay, E. Then ये जो portions, this side has been divided into two parts, AD and DB. This has been divided into AE and EC. So these corresponding sides will be in proportion. Okay, so in theorems, children, it's simply a statement and you have to convert it to mathematical language. Whenever they ask you to prove a theorem, they are marks well distributed here. Okay, you get half mark for making the figure right. Figure will not be given to you, you'll have to make it yourself. Okay, then half mark for writing what is given to you. Okay, for understanding the statement and putting it in mathematical form. Half mark for knowing what you have to prove. Then some half mark for construction, whatever extra work you're doing. This is the construction. Okay, so ये सब 3-4 steps होते हैं, इनको systematically करना ज़रूरी है to gain marks. Okay, so what will you do here is, if you have to prove BPT, you should be knowing the theorem, of course, the statement, of course, and then for writing the proof, see, we would say consider a triangle ABC in which a line is drawn parallel to BC, which is intersecting AB at D and AC at E. ये सब लिखना पड़ेगा. Last year भी आपने ज्योमेट्री में करे questions like this where only statements were there. Then I had asked you that you need to explain the figure. Okay, so likewise. Then next will be to prove. We need to prove that AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. For that, this construction you have to remember, children. Okay, now in theorems what happens is little bit of learning, remembering is required, children. Okay, that what approach and why we are applying that approach. तो थोड़ा बहुत learning करना पड़ता है. Repeatedly आप पढ़ोगे तो it's not difficult. Logically समझ के you will easily remember it. Okay, now so what are we doing in this construction is we are joining B, E and CD this way. And then we are dropping perpendiculars. Draw DM perpendicular to AC and EN perpendicular to AD. Alright, so those constructions we have done. इतना आपको learn करना पड़ेगा. This all written. Now we are going to use area of triangle out here. Okay, so now area of triangle ADE, this one above, ADE. We know area of any triangle is half base into height. So half, now AD को base बनाओगे तो ये height होगा, AE को बनाओगे तो ये होगा. So there will be two ways you can write the area of triangle ADE. Area of triangle ADE is half of AD into EN. Okay, now area of BDE, the other triangle here, this one. So what are we doing is we are taking this triangle with this triangle here. Then we'll take that same triangle with this triangle here. Okay. So they've done it stepwise. You can cut it short also. आप सीधे यहाँ पे भी आ सकते हो. Absolutely no problem. Come to this step only. All this much they are explaining here, so that is required. But when you doing the question, you can cut it short and you can straight away come to this step. Okay. Just write the ratio straight away. Ratio of ADE to BDE. ये ध्यान दो, देखो ये ऊपर का छोटा ट्रायंगल टू दिस स्मॉल ट्रायंगल हियर, देन अगेन दिस ट्रायंगल टू द अदर स्मॉल ट्रायंगल. ये दो स्टेटमेंट लिखने हैं आपको. ADE टू BDE and ADE again to DEC. now DEC, this one. Okay, so straight away come to these steps. You need not do all that explanation. And straight away you can write this ratio is equal to half this, and here you can write this formula because we know area of triangle is half base into height. Okay, so likewise the other one would be half of, now if you're taking AE as the base, then DM would be your altitude, and for the other triangle, the triangle below, the base would be EC and altitude DM. दोनों का DM रहेगा. सी altitude जो अगर आप इसको base कह रहे हो, obtuse angle triangle में altitude हमेशा बाहर आता है. Okay, so for the same triangle, for both the triangles, the altitude is the same. Altitude is the perpendicular drawn from vertex to the base. तो अगर ये base था, यहाँ से vertex ये है, यहाँ से आप perpendicular drop करोगे, it is not coming within the triangle, it's going outside. No problem. Altitude can come outside. Obtuse angle triangle में it always comes outside. Okay, so we are observing कि इन दो triangles का altitude is dm, likewise इन दो triangles का altitude is en, same. So वो cancel हो जाता है. See, in this en half will get cancelled, here dm and half will get cancelled. So you'll get the ratio of the area as AD upon db, and here you'll get the ratio as AE upon EC. Now further देखो न्यूमरेटर दोनों का सेम था. Okay, अब डिनोमिनेटर में ये जो दो ट्रायंगल्स हैं, remember last year you've studied triangles between the same parallels and same base are equal in area. So from that theorem, in place of here, they have this third statement is this. You just need to write this one statement, second statement. यहाँ पे formula quote कर दो, half base into height, and using this theorem that these have the same base and are between the same parallels, so they are equal in area. तो न्यूमरेटर तो सेम था ही, अभी ये डिनोमिनेटर्स भी आपके सेम हो गए बिकॉज ऑफ दिस थर्ड स्टेटमेंट. सो यू जस्ट नीड टू राइट इक्वेशन 1, 2, 3 and you can straight away say by equation 1, 2 and 3 this will be equal. Okay, समझ रहे हो, न्यूमरेटर तो ऑलरेडी इक्वल था, डिनोमिनेटर्स भी इक्वल हैं, तो थिंग्स विच आर इक्वल टू द सेम आर इक्वल टू ईच अदर. So you just write this statement and say by equation 1, 2 and 3 AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. Proved. That is all. इतना पूरा आपको elaborate करके लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Alright, but yes, ये explaining अच्छे से होनी चाहिए. If it is 4 marks proof, 2 marks you'll get straight away for this. For construction, for figure, for writing what you have to prove and all. Okay? Right. So that was your BPT. Now the converse of BPT. Okay, which is here, that if a line divides any two sides of the triangle in the same ratio, then the line is parallel to the third, the converse of that. Okay, earlier the line was parallel, then we showed the ratios equal. Now we have been given the ratios equal, we'll have to show the line is parallel. Okay, so here also this is a simple proof as well. So you will make this figure here and then you would say in this theorem we have a line DE such that AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. This is given to you. ये आ जाएगा given में. Okay. Now I've called it as equation 1 so that writing becomes easy. Okay. So call that as equation 1. Now we would say we have to show that this DE is supposed to be parallel to BC. तो assuming the contrary, जैसे हमने बहुत इरेशनल प्रूफ करने के लिए भी लिया था, नेगेटिव रिजल्ट एंड देन शोड की वो कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है, वो गलत है. सो सेम वे हियर वी वुड से लेट DE इज नॉट पैरेलल. इफ DE इज नॉट पैरेलल सम अदर लाइन शुड बी पैरेलल, कोई ना कोई लाइन तो पैरेलल होगी. सो वी वुड से इफ DE इज नॉट पैरेलल टू PC लेट DE डैश बी दैट लाइन विच इज पैरेलल. राइट, ये हम अज्यूम कर ले रहे हैं, अजम्पशन. सो if that is true then we can write AD upon DB is equal to AE dash upon E dash C. This happens by BPT. अगर हम कह रहे हैं कि DE dash parallel है तो BPT यही कहता है कि जब लाइन पैरेलल है तो sides will be in proportion. So we are saying if DE is parallel then AD upon DB should be equal to AE dash upon E dash C. That happens by BPT. यहाँ पे लिख दो BPT. Call this as equation 2. Okay. Now if you compare 1 and 2, you have AD upon DB here, you have AD upon DB here. So things which are equal to the equal are equal to each other. So by 1 and 2, you can equate AE upon EC is equal to AE dash upon E dash C. Right? After that, what you have to do is you will plus 1. अभी हमने आगे भी exercise में भी एक question किया था. Okay, where we have a coming to corollary of BPT. So plus 1 both the sides. Plus 1 here, plus 1 here, taking LCM. So if you add 1 and take LCM, so आपका ये common denominator EC आ जाएगा और यहाँ पे 1 की जगह EC आ जाएगा. So AE plus EC upon EC is equal to likewise AE dash plus E dash C upon EC. Now from the figure see, AE plus EC is whole of AC. So in the next step you can replace this by AC. Likewise AE dash में E dash C add करोगे तो फिर वापस पूरा AC मिलता है. So in place of this also you can write AC. Okay, so AC same numerator, then the denominators can also be equated. Okay, So EC comes equal to E dash C, which implies that E and E dash must be coinciding. See, हम ये कह रहे हैं कि C एक पॉइंट से E का डिस्टेंस और E डैश का डिस्टेंस सेम है. तो किसी एक पॉइंट से टू डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स का डिस्टेंस ही डिफरेंट होगा. सेम पॉइंट का डिस्टेंस different नहीं हो सकता है. So if you get this length and this length is equal, that means actually this point is lying on E itself. So that is why when you write EC is equal to E dash C, after that you would say this implies E and E dash are coinciding. So we had assumed DE dash is parallel, which means DE is actually parallel. That is what we had to show. Okay, so it's not difficult. थोड़ा बहुत ध्यान से उसको देखो, समझो, you'll follow it. All right.